I'm Gabby from GoNaturalEnglish.com, where you can learn to speak English fluently and with cultural confidence. Today we're talking about 3 greetings that native English speakers do not use, but maybe they should. So these are greetings. We're talking more about the cultural side of the greetings rather than just learning the vocabulary of greetings. So this is about your cultural competency and about what I've learned from working and living all over the world. Well, at least in a few different places. So I got this idea to talk about different greetings that native English speakers don't use when I heard a story of a Brazilian man, where I'm living right now, it's Brazil, who went to the United States to work. He was fluent in English. His English was really good, you guys, and he had a huge cultural problem. So he learned English in the traditional way, and a lot of traditional English classrooms don't teach the cultural part. So that's why we're talking about this today. So he went to the US, and where I'm from. So I'm talking about United States, North American culture here. I say native English speakers because I think we have a lot in common throughout the English speaking world. But if you want to correct me, if you want to say in the comments whether, if you're from a different English speaking country and you do use these greetings, awesome, let me know. Anyway, this Brazilian man, let's call him Marcos da Silva, because that's a nice Brazilian name. Just making it up. So Marcos went to the United States and he was working for about a month, and then he got called into human resources and they said, Marcos, we have to talk to you. It's serious. We have a lot of your coworkers complaining about your sexual harassment. And he was like, what are you talking about? This is a family guy, a really professional guy. And he didn't think that he was sexually harassing anyone, but human resources said, Marcos, you're hugging everyone, you're touching them inappropriately. And he was like, what? Because in Brazil, in professional environments, it is totally appropriate to hug people to greet them. So in the United States, it is not. And a lot of his American coworkers felt like he was touching them too much, he was getting too close physically. In North America, we have this about 3 feet, 1 meter of personal space that we like to respect. And so hugs, definitely kisses, are not greetings that we do in the US. And a handshake is always a safe bet for men and women. So I've been in different cultures where men and women don't even touch. You don't even shake a man's hand if you're a woman, or vice versa. That's a little weird for me because in the US we shake everyone's hand. In Brazil and in Latin America, I really enjoy hugging people to greet them or giving them a little kiss on the cheek. I think it's really warm and nice, but you just have to know that in the United States, people can be a little standoffish. We might seem a little cold if you're coming from a culture where everyone hugs and kisses each other, but that's just the way it is. So be careful and be smart and just don't touch people very much in the United States unless they say, yes, it's okay. Like, you can ask, is it okay if I give you a hug? And if they're like, probably the answer is no. So stay on the safe side, don't get sued for sexual harassment. Okay, number 2. Number 1 was hugging and kissing. Number 2 is we do not greet everyone in a room when we arrive. We also do not say goodbye to everyone in a room when we leave. So this also might seem a little cold or a little self-centered to just arrive without saying hello and leave without saying goodbye. Again, it's just the way it is. It might seem strange depending on where you're from. But when I went to live in the Dominican Republic many, many years ago, this is the first time that I realized that it's common and actually really nice to say hello to everyone in a room when you arrive at the office or at a party or wherever it may be. Also when you leave. But thankfully for my American cultural norms, I've been able to leave parties and situations that I'm not comfortable in in a hurry because I didn't feel it was necessary to say goodbye to everyone. So sometimes it can take a long time to say hello and to say goodbye. I think that when we arrive at the office, we can say good morning, we can say hello, but it's not necessary. I'm the kind of person who always likes to say hello to everyone in the room and say good morning, and I just love to connect with people as soon as possible. And I think a lot of that comes from living in the Dominican Republic, living in Brazil, living abroad in many cultures that really take the time to connect with each person in the room. But you should know, if you go to the United States, it is not very common to greet everyone in the room when you arrive at the office, and it's also not common to say goodbye to everyone in the room. Number 3, okay, this comes from my years living and working in Japan. There's 2 really cool phrases or cultural actions, behaviors, that's the word I'm trying to say, that Japanese people do in the office. So when they arrive, if you arrive later than your coworkers, you would say, "Osaki ni shitsurei shimasu," and that means I'm sorry for arriving later than you. How nice is that? So I think it's pretty cool that people say that to respect each other and to say hello, but we don't have anything like this in the US. So in the US, you would just simply arrive at work, maybe say hello if you make eye contact with people, but the people that you don't make eye contact with, you don't need to say hello, and you don't need to say, "I'm sorry I arrived later than you." Just, if you arrived late, just try to be there earlier the next day. Being on time is super important, I'll say that, or even early for work. So also another phrase from Japan that I really liked was "Otsukare-sama," which means thank you for your hard work. And often at the end of a workday, or even during a workday, people would say "Otsukare-sama," which is thank you for your hard work. Acknowledging and respecting someone's dedication to their work is really a lovely thing. And we don't really have anything like this in North American culture. We might say thank you. We say thank you very often, actually, but we don't have any phrase that is thank you for your hard work that we use often. And so I really like this phrase because it's a way that you can connect with your coworkers, start a conversation or end a conversation. And yeah, and it's nice. But as a native English speaker, I can't think of anything that we have like this. So if you want to thank your coworkers, just simply say, "Thank you. I appreciate everything that you're doing, and you're so helpful." And you kind of have to just talk a lot and use a lot of different words and phrases to express your thanks. Whereas in Japanese, we have this nice little common phrase that's used all the time. So there we have it, 3 greetings or goodbyes or phrases that we use in other cultures, but not in North American culture. So the first one is actually not even a phrase, it's just the way that we greet people. We don't use a hug and a kiss. We would simply shake hands if it's the first time you're meeting someone, but if you're in an office environment, you don't need to shake everyone's hand every day. We just shake hands the first time we meet someone, or if we're doing a business deal, we shake hands when we conclude the business deal. Otherwise, we don't need to shake hands. And that's actually another cultural difference that I forgot to mention, that we don't shake hands as much. I've worked with students from many different countries, and I noticed that a lot of my students from the Middle East, also from some parts of Europe, would shake my hand every single time that we met, even though we'd known each other for a long time. And I thought, okay, this is nice, but it's not normal in North American culture to shake someone's hand every single time you see them. Just the first time you meet them, and then if you're concluding a business deal, like you know, sold your house or something, you could shake someone's hand when you sell the house. So no handshaking besides the first time and the last time you see someone. No hugging, no kissing. Sorry about that. Just hello, good morning. And then we also don't need to say hello or goodbye to everyone in the room, just people who you're working closely with, people who you make eye contact with. Otherwise, you don't really need to announce your arrival or announce your departure. And if you want to say thank you for someone's great work with you, simply say thank you. It's really a pleasure to work with you. I appreciate everything that you are doing. Thank you for everything. Just use other words like that when it's appropriate. You don't need to say this every single day. If you do say this every single day, it could come off as actually insincere, because we don't usually thank someone every single day for their work, like I experienced in Japan, which was really nice. So I miss some of these things. When I work in the US, I definitely miss some of these things that I've experienced working and living abroad. But I just wanted to share them with you so that you know if and when you go to live, study, or work in the United States, that there's nothing wrong with you if people aren't hugging you or kissing you or greeting you or saying goodbye to you or thanking you for your work. There's nothing wrong with you. Just observe how people are acting in an environment and try to follow that, because I will say every work environment is different, and the greetings or the behaviors that you practice in a work environment highly depend on the cultural environment of that business. I will say it again, every business is a little different. If you work at a huge corporation, the feeling would be even more formal and professional than if you're working at a small startup, which could be super informal, and people might hug and give high fives and say, hey, what's up, man? Good morning. And it could be a more relaxed atmosphere. So take my advice here with a grain of salt and be sure to observe your environment to see what makes sense for where you're working or living or studying. All right, let me know your thoughts about these different greetings that we don't do. Do you think Americans should do them? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. And if you are learning English, you should get a free sample of my audio ebook that I made for you to facilitate your English fluency journey. You can click right down there on the English Fluency Formula audio ebook to get a free sample. Click right down there to subscribe to Go Natural English. It would really make my heart happy, and I'll send you virtual hugs and kisses if you think that's appropriate if you subscribe. And you can click right over there to keep watching Go Natural English. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Mwah! Bye for now.